Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.
Say you want a revolution.
Welcome back to the Alice Stewart Show. 7:45 here in Central Arkansas. The sun is up. 8:45 for our guest in D.C. I'm joined in studio with Laurie Lee. Laurie, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Alice.
We have been talking about the IRS problem in D.C. where last Friday, 1 week ago, or just about a week ago, the IRS official acknowledged and apologized for targeting conservative groups, specifically Tea Party groups. And the president says, if this happened, we will look into it, and this is outrageous. And this has become a topic of conversation, and it is set for a hearing this Friday before the Ways and Means Committee. And our Congressman Tim Griffin sits on the Ways and Means Committee. He joins us this morning from Washington. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you joining us. You are on the Ways and Means Committee. You will be talking about this IRS probe. Tell us what is it that needs to be uncovered in this story?
Well, I think some of the basic questions that we've asked in many varied scandals and government mess ups, and that's who knew, when did they know, what did they know, and when you look back at some of the problems that the IRS has had over the years in terms of whether it be upper level employees making mistakes or messing up basically, or whether it be mid-level, low-level employees, there's a history of people getting fired. And the question in this particular instance is, who knew what, and who are you going to fire?
Exactly.
Why haven't people already been fired? Because a lot of us have just learned and are just learning about this now, but this is something that has been known about for several years, and there doesn't seem to have been any firings, any disciplinary action that we know of. So that's one thing that we really want to get to the bottom of.
Well, and here's the question or the concern by people on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, for the Internal Revenue Service to go out and specifically target any group. And this, I would be just as outraged if they were going after George Soros as they were the Koch brothers, because they don't need to be intimidating or threatening into silence any organization or any political leanings. And we have Stephen Miller, the head of the IRS, says, yeah, there's some mistakes were made. Yeah, maybe we should have done a better job. But as you said, something should have been said a long time ago. What do you expect to glean out of your hearings on Friday that will hold people accountable?
Well, part of the problem is trust. The American people, or at least many of my constituents and many folks around the country, don't trust the government, and for good reason. For example, IRS had a story about what happened in this particular instance, and what they said wasn't true. And they said originally that it was a localized deal, that it was Ohio, and really had nothing to do with the national operation. You can see why one would want to say that, sort of minimize the issue. But we come to find out it did involve the Washington, D.C. office. People beyond Ohio knew that Tea Party and conservative groups were selectively being targeted. So that turned out not to be true. And so it gives people reason, in that particular instance, for example, to be a little bit skeptical, or a lot skeptical of what they hear.
Right.
So what we think we know right now will probably change between now and Friday. And this, like a lot of these things, will be evolving based on the information that comes out.
Congressman.
And I've been very clear with folks. We need to let the facts speak.
Right.
Period. Don't get ahead of the facts. Don't, and when the facts are brought out, make sure we pay attention to them. But this needs to be all about the facts. And the reason is because we can't have a government that targets its citizens, this group over the other group. It's interesting. The president loves to talk about fairness. He loves to talk about equal opportunity. This is an example of the government picking and choosing because of political beliefs. And I don't know where this is going to go, and I don't know what we're going to learn. I don't have a crystal ball, but I will tell you that, and a lot of people on the left have been talking about this, but George Will starts his column today quoting the fact that Richard Nixon, back in when the House Judiciary Committee was dealing with Nixon, if you will look at what he was accused and what he was found to have done, it was selective income tax audits, causing income tax investigations to be initiated or conducted in a discriminatory manner. And I want to be clear, I'm not equating anybody here with Nixon. I'm simply saying this demonstrates how serious it is when the government that is so big and powerful can pick and choose between its citizens.
Right. Congressman Griffin, I agree. Charles Krauthammer said yesterday, too, we don't need to be pointing the fingers. We don't need to be yelling and screaming and let the facts speak for themselves. Congressman Griffin, thanks for your time, and we'll certainly be keeping an eye on that hearing on Friday with you in the Ways and Means Committee. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.